Hey, good afternoon. It's Ellis, and it's time for our chair yoga practice for today. So, as always, I invite you to set yourself up in a way that feels comfortable in your chair. I've got my cushion underneath my feet for a little bit more support. Please turn off the notifications on your phone or your computer and shut the door if you can to gift yourself this next half hour or so just for you, just for your practice. As usual, we're going to start with a few minutes of tuning in. And that's how we learn exactly what our body needs day to day, exactly what our minds need day to day. So set yourself up for your practice. Sit up tall in your chair. And I invite you to close or soften the eyes. Allow your hands to land where they land in your lap comfortably, perhaps with a soft bend in your elbows and a relaxed sensation in your shoulders. And breath by breath, I'd like for you to begin to scan the body. And as you scan through the body, name it and notice the sensation, perhaps. So you might start with your right foot and see what it feels like on the bottom of your right foot, the top of it, and your toes. We're going to do the same for your left foot. And sensations might be temperatures or textures. But breath by breath, tuning in, paying attention to right now. It is so important for our minds to be given these opportunities to unitask, to focus in one place. Several more breaths, no sense of urgency. About 4 more breaths. Let your next exhale come out the mouth. Good. And then you can lift the gaze or open the eyes. Let's bring our arms along the sides and shake out the hands, the wrists, and the shoulders, just so the shoulders can get really heavy. And actually, let's shrug the shoulders a few times. So let's breathe in, squeeze the shoulders up, and then with a thud, let them drop down as we exhale. We'll do that a few more times. So breathe in, squeeze in, hold the breath, and then exhale, drop. Once more. Breathe out. Good. Allow the arms to continue to hang, and then let's drop right ear towards your right shoulder. Pause the body to keep the breath moving. Then if you've got right ear dropped, lift your left arm out to the left. You might already be feeling some sensation in the arm, so you can decide how high you'd like to lift it. And then perhaps experiment with what direction the palm faces, so facing down, forward, or up, or turning and facing towards the back of the room. Do this a couple more times, not rushing. Being curious with the sensation in your shoulder, perhaps even in your elbow and your neck. And again, you can experiment with how high or low the arm goes. That's going to change your experience. Let's take another breath here. Good. Bring your head up to neutral and then switch to the other side. Let your left ear come down And then lift your right arm out to the right. And the same experimentation with the direction that the palm faces and also how high or low the arm is. Nothing's better or worse than the other. You're just moving sensation. About 2 more breaths. It's also okay if your right arm, right shoulder feels different from the left. Good. Release the hand down. Bring your head up to neutral. Let's take the hands to the back of the skull. Interlace your fingers. Good. And I want you to inhale and lift the chin a bit. And then as you exhale, curl the chin into the throat. So just the chin rounds in. And your hands aren't pressing that hard, they're just providing some weight. Now we can stay just like this, or you might let the elbows come forward and down. That might increase the sensation at the back of the neck, so you decide what feels good for you. Good, 2 more breaths. My intention for our practice today, lift your head up, release your hands, is to move through this central line, so through the spine. So we're going to mobilize all the way from the base of the skull to the tip of the tailbone. And just feel that out. All right, one more bit of mobilization through the neck, then we'll get sensations a bit bigger. So interlace your hands and bring your knuckles underneath your chin. Good. All right, as you inhale, keeping your head where it is, you're going to lift the elbows up. Breathe in. Now, as you exhale, you're going to bring the elbows forward. Press your knuckles into your chin. Lift your chin to breathe out. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, bring the head to neutral. Elbows move up. And then exhale, press. Just moving for a range of motion that feels good. Mobilizing through the neck and the shoulders and armpits. Let's take 3 more. Perhaps see if you could turn up the volume of your breath. One more. Good, release your hands down. All right, let's bring hands to your lap. And then scoot yourself back and lean back so you can feel your spine against the chair. We're going to articulate the spine 1 vertebra at a time. And so I want you to really sit up tall and press your back into the chair. So you might even be pressing down through your feet a little bit. I want you to feel the back of your hips, your sacrum pressing into the chair. So some of us have a tendency to tip the hips forward. There's nothing wrong with that. But for right now, I'd like for you to tip the hips back a bit so that you can feel the crests of the backs of your hips against the chair. So there's a little bit of pressure in the feet. And then can you hug the belly in just 3% while still breathing to push your low and mid back into the chair. And depending on the height of the chair relative to your torso length, you might even feel the tops or the bottoms of your shoulder blades at the top of your chair. Okay, and then I'd like for you to imagine that you're sitting against a wall, and can you press the back of your skull against the wall? So you're going to give yourself a bit of a double chin, tucking the chin down just slightly. Good. So breathe the wideness of your lungs back into the chair. Can you still feel the back of your skull against an imaginary wall? The upper back, mid back, and all the way down to the sacrum. Feel these pressing against the back of your chair. Keep breathing. And then what we're going to do is take our times and round forward, articulating the spine 1 vertebra at a time. And I want you to imagine it sort of like a candy cane shape. So curling in, starting from the top. So I'm going to talk you through it the first few times. So first, bring your head forward and then curl the chin into the throat. So crown of the head reaches forward. Now I want you to think crown of the head is going to reach sort of down between your knees, and your hands can slide along the legs. So let the chin curl in, crown of the head faces down, upper back starts to curl in, mid back starts to leave the back of the chair. You can still feel your low back, and then it begins to leave the back of the chair. Keep rolling forward and down until your sacrum leaves the chair. And then hands can travel down, round in. Good, we're gonna come right back up, but I want your sacrum to hit the back of the chair first. So press into your feet to press your hips back, and then round your way up. Sacrum, low back, mid back, upper back, and then head is the last thing to arrive. Good, we're gonna do that a few more times. So start with the chin, the cervical vertebra. Round it in, neck, upper back, mid back, lower back, and then your tailbone. Pressing into your feet to press your hips back, roll all the way up. Good, do this, let's do it 3 more times on your own. Let the breath move in a way that feels intuitive for you. So decide when you want to inhale and when you want to exhale. Last time to fold forward, and this time when you do, I want you to pause there. So take your time, round forward, slide your hands down, and then pause with a rounded back. You might even release your arms alongside the chair. So you might feel a little compression in the belly, that's okay. Can you think about breathing wide into the lungs on your back? Now, press into your footprints. Send the back of your hips into the back of your chair and round all the way up. Good, excellent work. So that's our spinal flexion, which is a range of motion that is sometimes vilified, but it's a natural movement of our spine. And so we want to train our backs to support that. So we're going to do the opposite, the extension, and we're going to do it one vertebra at a time as best as we can. This is a little bit harder. So let's take the hands back to the back of the skull. We're not going to extend through the neck quite as much. I want us to focus on extending through the mid and upper back. So press your head into your hands so you find this spine and just a bit of extension. Then I want you to think about keeping your hips and low back still as you lift the chest up. So it's a subtle movement. Lift the chest. Now reach your tailbone behind you so you make more of an arc through the body. Press down through your feet. Now reach your tailbone down. Curl the low back in, mid back, and upper back. So I'll show you from the side what this looks like. You're going to do it on your own. So keeping the low back neutral to start, press the head into the hands, start to lift the upper back. And then send the tailbone behind, find a curve through the entire spine. And then tailbone down, use the belly, restack. Good, we're gonna do that, let's say 3 more times on your own. Starting with the top. And then pressing the tailbone down. Good, 2 more times. Can you imagine your vertebra moving independently? Of course, the truth is that that's not how they work. But we're using that visualization to invite a little more fine tuning, fine muscle control. Good. When you complete your last round, release your arms. Okay. Now we're going to take some side bending. And again, I want you to think sort of candy cane. So rather than leaning to the side, we're going to round over to the side. So let's start. Let's take hands to the tops of your thighs, kind of near your hip creases, and feel your hip bone on the ground, or on the chair, I should say. Let's keep your right hand where it is and let your left arm roll off the edge of the chair. Turn your left ear to your left shoulder, and then crown of the head is going to reach towards the left. Keep pressing the right hand into the hip so that the right hip stays grounded. And then this left arm is going to just slide down to the left. Now, I want you to start with the hip. Press the right hip down and then roll and stack your way up. Head is the last thing to arrive. Good. All right, we're going to do that again. So let this left arm be heavy. Keep going to the left a couple more times. Drop the crown of the head down. Keep pressing the right hip bone down. Drip over. And then start with the hip. Press into the right hip. Roll and stack upright. Once more like that. Roll upright. Good. Let's take this to the other side. So left hand is going to find your hip. Right arm is going to go along your side. Feel both sit bones on the chair. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder and then curl it down. Let the right arm be heavy. Let the left hip be heavy. And then to bring yourself back up, anchor down through the left hip. Round your way upright. Good. Let's do twice more. Breathe in a way that feels intuitive for you. Let that right arm be real heavy. Once more. Come up through center. Good. All right, now we're going to turn this into a twist. So again, we're taking all of the range of motion, all of the different types of movement we can do with the spine. Let's lift our arms up and then take them out like a T. Let's twist to the right. So take your left hand to your right knee and take your right hand lightly to the back of the chair. And for this twist today, I want you to keep your chin in line with your sternum. And then use your belly to deepen the twist on every exhale. So it can even just be an energetic deepening of a squeeze of the belly in as you breathe out. And it's a lift of the chest as you inhale. So imagine a wringing out of a towel, moving around that central axis of the spine. We're going to take 3 more breaths here in the twist. See if you can keep the body weight even across both hips. Good. Return through center. We're going to take this the other side. So start out arms like a T. Twist to your left, hand to knee, other hand to the chair, or if the wall is close behind you, you might take fingertips to the wall. So same thing. Lift up as you breathe in, and as you exhale, squeeze the belly in. Both hips are even on the chair. Can you feel the obliques and maybe the intercostal muscles between your ribs supporting your twist? One more breath. Good. Come through center. Okay, so we're going to put all of that together. All of that twisting, tipping, rocking, and lifting, all of it together. So take your hands to the tops of your thighs. And then I want you to turn your chest so it's in line with your left thigh. Let your chin come into your throat and round towards your left knee. Now, while you're rounded forward, sway over towards your right knee and round up. And now we're upright. So let's take that to the other side. Turn towards the right thigh, round the chin in. Sweep and sway the body over to the left and round upright. Good, so we're gonna go side to side like that. And here's where we might add on. So what you might do is when you round in, lift the opposite arm up. And then sweep across, lift the other arm up. And then at the top, you get both arms high for back bend. And then round in, curl in, sweep across, sweep the top arm up, bottom arm comes with it. So don't overthink it. We're rounding, twisting, and extending. Take it in both directions. You can either alternate the directions or keep moving in one direction for a while and then switch when it feels good to you. It's okay if it's not perfectly symmetrical. We're going to do this for about 3 or 4 more breaths. I should say 3 or 4 more rotations. Good, twice more. Be sure you get that pause and a back bend at the top. Good, and that's where we'll meet. Let's meet. Arms lifted, chest lifted, breathe in. Cactus the arms, breathe out. Good, release your hands down. Excellent work. Good. All right, we're gonna move a little bit more dynamically now that we've established this great freedom through the back. So let's scoot over to the left of our chair. And I want you to scoot so far that your left hip is hanging off the chair a bit. And my right foot is forward. And then take your left toes and reach them behind you so your left knee is dropping down towards the earth. And if you need a little stability, you can take your grip here to the edge of your chair with your right hand. And so here we are in a chair-supported version of a high lunge. Now, you can keep this hand down on the chair, or you can lift it up. So either both arms lifted or one arm. Actually, let's all take one hand to the chair. Don't listen to me. One hand to the chair. Reach your left arm up, and then let's arc over to the right. So towards the chair. Good. Let's lift up as we breathe in, and then exhale. Once more, breath in, and then breath out. Good, lift up. Let's take arms out like a T, and then you're gonna turn so the left knee is facing out towards the left. So if you need to adjust your hips on your seat, that's fine too. And now we're in warrior 2. Good. Let's bring left forearm to the thigh, right arm beside the ear, side angle lunge. Good. Can you press that arm into the thigh and lift the right armpit a little bit higher? Good. Keep breathing. All right, let's draw the arms up through center. This time we're going to face forward. Take the knees wide. So shift forward so both feet can be flat on the floor. Knees are wide. Take the arms out. And let's wrap the left arm underneath the right. So either a bear hug like this, reaching your fingertips towards your outer shoulders, or eagle wrap the arms. Whichever variation of the shoulders you're in, press down through your feet. And then as you inhale, lift the chest and lift the elbows. As you exhale, can you round in a bit? Let's do that 2 more times. And exhale. Good, free the arms. Then we're gonna scoot to the lunge on the other side. So scoot over to the right. Left hip stays on the chair. And then right foot's gonna reach behind. So I'm on the toes of my right foot, and I've got my left hand gripping the outer edge of the left side of the chair. All right, lift your right arm up. Reach up, and then tip over to the left. Any amount. Good. Breath in, lift up. Breath out, tip over. Once more. And exhale. Good. Draw up through center. We're going to lift this knee that's off to the right and turn it to the right. Adjust your hips so they feel stable. We've got about 90 degrees through the hips. Root energy of that. Arms wide, warrior two. Let the shoulders soften down on the back. And then we'll make our way to side angle lunge, forearm to thigh. Top arm comes beside the ear. If this is too much in the shoulder, hand can come to the head or it can come to the waist. Whichever variation of the hand you have though, I want you to feel that armpit and the left side of your chest reach up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. Good, we're gonna come through center to that goddess pose variation again. So shift forward, take the knees wide, feet are flat on the floor, arms come wide. This time it's right arm underneath the left, either the bear hug or the eagle wrap of the arms. 3 times you're gonna inhale and lift up, and then exhale and round in. Twice more. Good, all right, free the hands, let it come down, and then bring your legs together-ish towards one another in front, but still stay seated forward in your chair. We're gonna close our practice with just a bit of repetitive movement in the sun salutation A variation. Again, just another tool to bring our bodies, or our attention into our bodies. So our downward facing dog today is gonna be arms up, and then lengthen your legs forward. And so you can see I'm making like an A shape with the body, just tipped over. And then I'm gonna bring my feet underneath my knees and then lift the chest up, breath in. And then reach the arms forward, palms face forward, like I'm in plank pose, just change the orientation. And then I'm gonna bring my thumbs next to my rib cage and my chest forward, so I'm in cobra pose. Good, and then from here, back to downward facing dog. So arms up, legs reach forward, make a little A shape, and then stand up. Feet come down, arms high. Arms reach forward, plank pose. Thumbs to rib cage, lift the chest. Good, we're gonna do that a few more times. So down dog, arms and legs long. Feet to the floor, arms high. Palms forward, plank pose. Cobra pose, thumb knuckles towards the side ribs. Good, let's do that 3 more times on your own. Find a way to coordinate your breath with this in a way that feels natural to you. Let's do this one more time. Good, and then we'll meet seated. Scoot your hips back to your chair. Soften or close the eyes. Pause to tune in. And I just want you to gift yourself 5 unhurried breaths without worrying about what's coming next. Follow the inhale as it traverses through the body. And trace the exhale as it leaves. All right, you can open the eyes or lift the gaze. Thank you for coming and joining me for your practice today. I hope you feel maybe a little bit more free in the spine. I look forward to seeing you again another time. Thank you.